Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up podcast. Today, we're back and we're continuing our preliminary fantasy football rankings. We're going to do tight ends instead of wide receivers, keep it short and somewhat sweet. That's Nick. I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up podcast. You know where to find us at draftedup_pod over on Twitter. More importantly, the show, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you watch or listen to your podcast will be there if you don't use one of those apps. Search Drafted Up Podcast, like, rate, subscribe, review, follow, all that nonsense. We appreciate it. How you doing today, dude?
Doing good. Knee deep in a Fast and the Furious rewatch, so that's been my last couple of days. Been grinding through those.
It's exactly. All about family.
La Familia, dude. You can have any brew you want as long as it's a Corona. Oh, that line killed me. Yeah, I'm doing good. Ready to talk some beef boys, big body boys, tight ends.
This boy deep in a Fantastic Four, Fast and the Furious rewatch, and I'm over here just watching King of the Hill. I'll tell you what.
Oh, all right, Hank Hill.
Damn it, Bobby.
Propane. We're talking maybe 12 good tight ends, maybe. We'll see if all 12 pan out.
We will definitely be talking about more than tight ends because I guarantee I have guys that are in my top 12 that are not in yours.
And I would assume so. Yeah, for sure. There's going to be more than 12, but are all 12 going to hit? 14 of them going to hit? Probably not. It's probably going to be 10 good tight ends this year. We'll see how it plays out. Tight ends, usually it's a rough spot for fantasy, so maybe some of these guys will make heat waves. We got some young and up-and-coming guys, good rookie class as well, so I'm excited.
Yeah, tight ends are finicky at best.
Yeah, dude, they're hitting this.
It's a lot of streaming. There's a chance that, if you're drafting the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th tight end, you're probably not keeping that guy for the full year, and you're bouncing around and taking in 15, 16 stream week guys. Hunter Henry's probably going to find lineups here and there. And
Hunter Henry always finds lineups, dude. He's a touchdown guy. You start him on a touchdown week, he pays off, dude.
Yeah.
How many are you safe with? Just a number.
Okay.
How many safe tight ends do you think there are?
I love the guy I have ranked 12. I'm more comfortable taking the guy I have ranked 12 over the guy I have ranked 11 and maybe even 10 and 9. So 9?
I was going to say 8. I think there's 8 safe tight ends.
Yeah, my tight end 12 is a stretch. It's just more of a comfort for me, but for sure, yes, my top 8, if I have one of those guys, I chances are they're my tight end for 95% of the year.
I agree.
Which is fine. If you get one of those 8 guys, that's the majority of your league. Yeah, most leagues, 12 teams. If you're in a 10-teamer, man up, find 2 more people, but but 10-team leags are fine.
You can turn them out, but have more roster spots. So start 3 receivers, have an extra third flex spot.
Yep, in 10-teamers, I prefer doing 3 wide. Maybe one of our next mocks here, we'll do a 10-teamer, full PPR, 3 wide receiver. See how that kind of goes strategy. But all right,
I like it.
Let's get into these tight ends.
Let's talk news real quick. Quinshot Judkins news. We got to get the Judkins news out of the way. Unfortunately, heartbreaking.
Your guy is a knucklehead.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's an absolute bonehead. I'm not going to defend him at this point on the podcast, but
the police report's out there. You can
bad.
Find
the police report's bad. Yeah,
we won't dive fully into it, but yeah, he was arrested for battery charges. For punching a woman with a closed fist. So
yeah, he hit her multiple times, face, legs. It's rough. It's a rough read. Reading the report, but he was my RB17 going into that. With the news, he's going to get suspended, most likely 6 games. That's almost half the regular fantasy season. And then he's going to be a rookie coming into a system that he's probably missing camp. He's missing all of the time. I get Jerome Ford's not a lot of competition. He doesn't have much in Cleveland, but he's missed all this time. He's a rookie coming in, and he has this problem. He's almost undraftable at this point if he ends up getting the 6-game suspension.
Yeah, because most leagues
it sucks.
Most leagues you can't put the suspended guys on your IR spot, so it's really just wasting a roster spot. And they also drafted a fellow rookie, Dylan Sampson, who's got some juice. So there's a chance. Judkins makes 0 impact on this team. this season.
This season, yeah. I still think he's the future running back.
Yeah.
But if nothing else happens, if he's able to clear it up, he obviously is going to get suspended. Do not make any more mistakes, and you show up next season. I think Judkins is going to be the guy, but this season's now a question mark, and he was arguably the rookie that didn't have any questions besides Genty, obviously. But you got the kid in you got Hampton, you got the kid in New England. I'm blanking on his name.
Trevion Henderson.
You got Caleb Johnson. You have all these other rookies
they're in timeshares.
A way bigger timeshare than Judkins was going to be in. So now, with the suspension, with the problems, Judkins is now the most questionable of them all. It's crazy how fast things can flip.
Yeah,
it's that kind of world.
You were higher on Judkins through the draft process. Good running back though, but
for sure.
And through this process, I've still been a little lower. I felt Jerome Ford would still have a big stake in this team, and I even figured Dylan Sampson would get his share as well. So I did not project Judkins as highly as a lot of people did that this would be his backfield. I did see a committee there, but still, if Dylan Sampson blows up next year, we could be talking about a committee still with him and Sampson then coming in with a full year of Sampson under their belt. So it's just something to monitor there. And then Judkins Jennings, San Francisco 49ers wide receiver, came out. He's demanding that he either gets a new contract, even though he just got a new contract 2 years ago or last year.
Last year, he got a 2-year extension last season.
Or he wants to be traded. So the Niners wide receiver room's already amok. Brandon Ayuk gonna miss time, most likely start the year on pup.
The reports with Ayuk are weird. There's a chance he's ready week 1, but then there's also a chance he starts on the pup. Those are two complete opposite spectrums.
Too. There's a chance I'm ready week 1.
Exactly. So I don't understand. I think Ayuk's going to start on the pup in the first couple of weeks. And then you have Robinson for San Fran, who's going to get suspended a certain amount of games.
He has a DUI, so he's probably going to be out the first 3 games.
So this is the most valuable Judkins Jennings will ever be in his career, most likely. So I get him wanting to get paid. Because go get your bag, kid. This is your job at the end of the day. So make as much as you possibly can. And he's holding that receiving room hostage. It's him and Ricky Pearsall. And if he's like, I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to be here. So who are you going to start?
Yeah.
So I get why he's doing it, but it's a rough spot to be in.
I don't think he gets a new contract. I don't think he gets traded. I think at the end of the day, he'll be there. And as long as they have George Kittle, I'm comfortable. And hypothetically, they could sign Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper would be a downgrade to Judkins Jennings, but I think Keenan Allen is as good.
I disagree. I think both those guys are better than Judkins Jennings.
I don't think
Judkins Jennings is that good. I think he is, for sure.
I think Amari Cooper is borderline washed at this point.
I would still give a chance to Amari Cooper over Judkins Jennings. Judkins Jennings is like I don't think he's that good. I think if he's out of the Shanahan system, I think Pearsall's a way better option this year.
No.
I don't think Judkins Jennings is. I'm not in on Judkins Jennings at all.
I have Jennings ranked higher than Pearsall. I think Pearsall has a higher ceiling, but I think Jennings gives you a much better floor and a comfort lock in your flex spot. But obviously, I think highly of Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is comfortable with Judkins Jennings. I think that's the pairing that I want there. Like, I think Purdy makes Judkins Jennings a startable asset in fantasy football, and I think Purdy could do that as well with Ricky Pearsall. I obviously like Brock Purdy a lot more than you do. I think he will make whoever the wide receivers are there be fantasy relevant, at least one of them. Say it's George Kittle. George Kittle will be relevant regardless.
I think Ricky Pearsall is going to have a really good season. He killed it on the back end of the season last year. 3 or 4 games, he finished so strong. I think he has the chance to step up and be the one. So if they don't want to pay Jennings and they end up trading him, I don't think it's a huge deal. You can easily replace him with the 2 guys you brought up. I think are honestly upgrades compared to Judkins Jennings.
I think Keenan Allen is. I don't think Amari Cooper is. All right. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Top 12 tight ends. Do we want to do 12 through 7? And then 6 through 5 like we always do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. At 12, the man I said I'm comfortable with as my starting tight end. Cincinnati's Mike Gesicki. At 11, Pittsburgh's Jonnu Smith. 10, Green Bay's Tucker Kraft. 9, Indianapolis rookie Tyler Warren. 8, Minnesota Viking TJ Hawkinson. And 7, former tight end 1 legend Travis Kelsey of the Kansas City Chiefs.
You got him at 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Makes sense. To my top 12. Right on the outside, my 13's Dalton Kincaid, Buffalo. I think he could have the upside to be a tight end 1 this year. In the system, he could be the number 1 option, so I have him right on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But the 12 guys, I just trust a little bit more, obviously. Number 12, Tucker Kraft, Green Bay. 11, Mark Andrews, Baltimore. 10, Mike Gesicki, Cincinnati. 9, Tyler Warren, Indianapolis. 8, David Njoku, Cleveland. 7, Sam Laporta, Detroit.
Okay. You got 2 guys in my top 5. In yours.
I assume Njoku and
Laporta.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I love that you got Gesicki higher than I do.
I thought you were gonna have him higher than me, to be honest.
Nah, the stat out did not go that way. My guy outside my top 12, my 13th ranked tight end, is Juwan Johnson.
Oh my God, that's Saints. Insane, dude.
Hey man, the stat out happened. I think he's the number 2 passing option. He could be the number 1 passing option because Chris Olave can't stay healthy. So I just think his is a volume situation. Am I comfortable taking Juwan Jennings? Absolutely not, because that guy is time and time again either hurt or is just proven irrelevant. Sans a handful of boom weeks in fantasy. Great best ball tight end. I would gladly have him as my tight end 2 in a best ball league, but in terms of being my starting tight end, he is at best a streaming option. I Dalton Kincaid at 15. I agree. I think there is the option of him being the number 1 there. I just think Buffalo's passing game is just something I really just don't want pieces of. It's a lot of hit or miss, and they're all values. You're not using a priority pick on them. So I'm comfortable taking him, Shakir, Coleman, because they're all 9th round or later, essentially. So I am content going any of that route. But it wouldn't surprise me if those 3 guys are just streamable dudes at the end of the day, and not really guys you could play reliably.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's offense could possibly just, honest to God, all cancel themselves out to where none of them are relevant. But if you're taking Kincaid, you've punted the position at that point. And then you're picking a guy that last year was drafted in the top 5 tight ends just based off of high upsides. And we've seen in this rookie year, he has that thing that's going on. He has it. Last year he was hurt. He was banged up, and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to give him another chance. I've sat here and backed up Kyle Pitts for the last 8 years.
Where you got your boy Kyle Pitts?
We'll get there. We'll get the Kyle. I'm joking. No, we're not. I have Kyle Pitts at 16th.
I was gonna say I'm stopping the recording. This podcast is over. That's where I also have Kyle Pitts. I have him at 16th.
I was gonna make the joke though when we got to like 3 or 4. I was gonna say Kyle Pitts' name, but no, I have him at 16, which I think is reasonable, and he has the upside that Kincaid has. I think.
I agree. Kyle Pitts is being drafted at this point where you're not banking on his ceiling. You're just banking on him.
Yeah, you can
hitting.
You can move on from Kyle Pitts at this point. Like if you draft him and he busts, it's not gonna hurt your team like the last few years where you were drafting him the 5th round, the 6th round. You were giving Kyle Pitts high draft capital. So at this point, he's worth drafting in like the 12th. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Mike Gesicki. I'm at 12. You have him at 11 or 10.
I'm 10.
High-powered offense, and that's why I'm comfortable taking him. There's going to be a lot of weeks where Mike Gesicki is irrelevant for your team if he is your tight end. And
I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was last year.
No. But if T. Higgins is healthy the full season, you got to kind of...
No. If T. Higgins happens to miss time, Mike Gesicki instantly becomes
top 5 tight
one
end.
of the... Exactly. So he has the super high upside. But I don't think it's going to be hot and cold like it was last year. They went out and they paid him a lot. Burrow loves him. I think he's going to be... I don't think it's going to be much more involved, but I think it's going to be more consistently involved in the offense.
Yeah.
To where he could see 6 catches a game, 7 catches a game. He could see a bunch of targets. And then the beneficiary of if T. Higgins goes out, Dude, his
which
ceiling is
a
through
good chance
the roof.
because T. Higgins
Exactly.
has, I don't think, ever finished a season.
He consistently misses time, unfortunately.
Yeah. The upside for Gesicki in this offense is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's a lot to go around in Cincinnati. They're going to pass. Like Chase Brown's going to get his share of the targets. Chase and Higgins. So really, you're looking at potentially at best the third option in the passing game, but in my eyes, probably the fourth. I think Chase Brown's probably a little bit more involved. But the Bengals, there's going to be weeks they're going to have to score 40 points to win. So there is the volume to spread around, even though
that's every week. They're going to have to score 40 every single week.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think Gesicki's my favorite. Like, if I miss out on the top 8 guys, take Gesicki and then try to pair him with a guy who's a little bit safer, like a Zach Ertz or a Jake Ferguson, because Gesicki it could be volatile towards your lineup, but there's a lot of chance for a payoff from him that you're not going to get from a lot of these guys going later.
Yeah, for sure. He has a way higher ceiling than a lot of these guys in this tier.
All right. Tucky Craft. Tucky. I have it 10.
Tucky.
You had him 11?
12.
Okay, so him and Gesicki switched in our lineup, or spots. Tucker Craft, to me, could be the number 1 option in Green Bay. Like, they got all these number 2 receivers, but we don't know who's going to be the getter of the majority of the targets. I think it could be Tucker Craft, especially in the red zone. Like Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, they're not big body, like kind of red zone guys. So then you're looking at Tucker Craft and Romeo Doubs, and I think Tucker Craft is probably a little bit more reliable in that aspect. Like I think there's the upside of 10 touchdowns here for Tucker Craft. And if you're gonna, with the tight end position, if you miss out on some of these bigger guys, you're chasing touchdowns, and I think Tucker Craft is more likely to score said touchdowns than a lot of the guys going around him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have Tucker Craft at 12 and then Kincaid at 13, like I said. And I think both those guys have a chance to be the number 1 target in the passing game. I think Kraft has a better option of that happening for him, so that's why I have him at 12. But like the guys under him is Jonnu Smith. He can't be the number 1 option in Pittsburgh. Dallas Goedert in Philly can't be the number 1 option. Kyle Pitts can't be the number 1 option. Like those guys, Jake Ferguson, those guys can't be the number 1 passing option in their offense. To where Kincaid can step up, possibly. It's a long shot, I get it. But Tucker Craft is a less long shot, and he could be the number 1 passing option in a high-powered Green Bay offense. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Reed at the end of the day. I think he's going to be the most productive fantasy value out of the passing game. But I think Tucker Craft's going to be the second most. I don't think Golden's going to be consistent. I think Romeo Doubs is going to be there, and I think he's going to be a little bit more reliable than people are giving him credit for at this point in his... Like, at the end of the day, Jordan Love trusts Romeo Doubs, and he's going to be out there on the field in 2 receiver sets over Golden, most likely.
No, it'll be over
Reed. It's over Reed. Yeah. It's over Reed. Reed plays the slot. He plays no wide receiver 2 sets, which is the downgrade.
The only time Jaden Reed is playing 2 receiver sets if he's in the backfield, and they ain't taking time away from Josh Jacobs, baby.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get Golden off the field. I don't think he's going to pan out. I honestly do not like Golden. But yeah, I think Tucker Craft at the end of the day is a really consistent option at tight end. He's not one of the guys I trust fully. Like at this point, I would try to draft a backup with him. Like I said, I think there's 8 guys I would comfortably start by themselves. Anyone after that, I'm trying to get 2 tight ends, just a little bit more reliable. Tucker Craft's a good option, though.
Yeah. All right, Tyler Warren, a rookie tight end.
Yeah.
We both have him at 9.
Okay.
I have him as the highest in the target share of the Colts offense. I think he's gonna I think there's a world like we want to make Josh Downs a thing, and I love Josh Downs. I think he's got good value. He's if Wan'Dale Robinson was actually good at football, and with Daniel Jones, you love that pairing because Daniel Jones was just trying to always feed Wan'Dale. But I think there's a chance where Josh Downs and Michael Pittman almost cancel each other out, and they just kind of hit their draft position. I think Tyler Warren has the best chance to spike out of anyone in this passing game.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's the same situation Brock Bowers was in last year. It's a terrible offense. It's going to be a terrible ran offense, and that's what Vegas all was last year. Well, Vegas was a terrible ran offense, but Brock Bowers still at the end of the day finished the number one tight end because of how talented he is. I don't think Warren's going to finish tight end one. I don't think that's going to happen. But the dude was a special talent coming out of Penn State last year. We talked about him constantly on our rookie watches and talking about rookies. He's going to be that guy. I don't know how high his ceiling is, unfortunately, with Danny Jones or, God forbid, Anthony Richardson as his quarterback. Hopefully it's Danny Jones most of the season because he'll just pepper this guy with targets. He'll hit this guy on any route possible, short, medium, a little bit longer if he has time.
He'll try to throw it long.
Yeah, he'll try to hit him long. I've watched Danny Jones.
Ever since his neck injury,
it's not there.
The deep ball accuracy and just ability has diminished for Danny.
It's been a hot minute since he's thrown a good dime. But I think Warren has the chance to be a really consistent option in this offense. Him, Jonathan Taylor are the two guys that I'm trying to get in this offense. And then, of course, Josh Downs if I have to get one of the receivers. I would take Downs over Pittman easily in a PPR league.
I think Pittman's going to be fine with Daniel Jones.
I don't think Pittman's going to be anything. I think he's going to be Michael Pittman.
So he's gonna score, 90 catches for 900 yards.
That's elite Michael Pittman. That's never going to happen. I'm thinking like 70 catches, 80 catches.
Michael Pittman's just big-bodied Wan'Dale Robinson. And then you have Josh Downs, who's just better Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, and Danny Jones couldn't get the ball to one guy, so now we're asking him to get the ball to three guys.
Hey, maybe sitting that year in Minnesota did him good.
I hope so. He showed flashes with New York. Yeah. He took the Giants to the playoffs. It wasn't him. It was Brian Dable's rookie season and great defense.
Yeah.
But Danny Jones could lead a team. The Colts last year with dog shit quarterbacks were 8-9.
Yeah.
Danny Jones could easily get them to 8-9, 9-8. He could have a winning record this year.
8-9.
A horrendous 8-9 for sure. Yeah, but Danny Jones could do that again.
No matter who the quarterback is in Indy, I think one of the receiving options is going to be fantasy relevant, whether it's Tyler Warren, Michael Pittman, or Josh Downs. And then Jonathan Taylor will be fantasy relevant regardless of quarterback play.
I'm not worried about Taylor at all.
Even if Anthony Richardson's the quarterback, I think one of these guys, he's just going to force feed him. And I think ultimately it would be Tyler Warren just because he could play a little bit in the backfield. But who really knows? Projecting this team with Anthony Richardson's a nightmare. With Daniel Jones, it's a little easier because he has the ability to at least try and spread it around. Richardson, it's trying to figure him out, and that's borderline impossible without him actually playing football.
I mean, statting out a team led by Anthony Richardson would be rough because you're literally only trying to stat out then 8 completions a game. So who's getting these 8 catches? That's no one's going to be fantasy relevant. Yeah, you're going to hope it's one long touchdown.
An at best 60% completion percentage.
That's not going to happen. It's never been above 50. It's not going to happen at 60.
No, he was above 50 his rookie year.
Yeah, but it's never been close to 60.
And then
I'm saying it's been 52.
Oh,
he's never been close to 60.
He was 6. He was. I'm pretty sure he was 60 his rookie year.
Definitely not.
Oh, 59.5.
Okay, so yeah, he will never hit 60%.
What do you think it was last year?
It's fucking 20%. He's dog shit, TJ. He is like statistically one of the worst quarterbacks to ever play football.
It was a whopping 47.7%.
I hate him so much. He is terrible. He is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen play football. I hope to God it's Danny Jones for any of the Colts fans' sake for this whole season.
If Richardson's healthy, it's going to be him because they have to play him.
I disagree. And I think it's truly whoever's best in camp, and it's going to be Danny Jones.
Well, Richardson, we don't even know if he's going to make it to camp.
And that's what I'm saying. It's going to be whoever's best in camp.
If it is Anthony Richardson, I think Tyler Warren becomes the safest route in the passing game.
I would take Dobbs, but I wouldn't pick any of them.
Downs.
Yes, Downs. I would take Downs. If it's announced as Richardson's the starting quarterback before drafts, I will not take a single Colt except Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I probably would also lean that way.
Yeah.
All right. Jonnu Smith wasn't in your top 12, right?
No, I have him at 14.
Okay. I'm at 11. I think he's the second option in the Steelers passing game. And
yeah, most likely.
Yeah, behind DK, obviously. Tyler Conklin with Aaron Rodgers had some fantasy relevance. It was more stream ability, but Jonnu Smith's better than Tyler Conklin. And we know Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. It's really just how often are the Steelers going to be running out their slew of tight ends, being Freiermuth, Smith, and Darnell Washington, who's still going to be on the field because
Washington's going to be out there a bunch for blocking.
He's a sixth lineman. Yeah, he's huge. So, but if they use Jonnu as an outside guy at the wide receiver spot, I think there's upside that he still finishes as a tight end 1. It's just, so like I said, when we got traded, his ceiling is no longer a top 5 tight end like it was in Miami. Now he's just kind of in this range of 10 through 14. I think that's where he's finishing regardless. I can't see him really making that jump, but I still think he's going to get work because I think he is the wide receiver 2, essentially, for this football team.
Yeah, I think he'll be involved, but I get Arthur Smith loves this guy. He only has one finish in the top 12, and that was last year in Miami. With Arthur Smith, he was tight end 17, tight end 20, tight end 16. I think that's going to be his realm, especially with Pat Freiermuth. And then I think DK Metcalf's the only relevant receiver in the offense. Yeah. And I'm just worried about Rodgers, dude. I don't think Rodgers is Rodgers anymore. I don't think he's that good. I think he's maybe an upgrade over Russell Wilson. I think I have them on the same page, to be honest. So it's more so Rodgers, dude. I can't trust that guy with new, and even DK worries me a little bit because he's not Rodgers kind of receiver. He's a big body, physical guy. He doesn't run pristine routes, and he's not always in the right place. I'm just worried about what Rodgers is going to be able to do here in Pittsburgh. If Jonnu was still in Miami, dude, he would be so high. Yeah,
that's where I think Jonnu becomes valuable to this offense, though, because I think he is the guy Rodgers. He runs the shorter stuff. He's going to be open in the middle, and Rodgers can just dump it off to him. So that's where I think there's a world where Jonnu just gets a ton of targets, but his his yards per target
he's
is
Evan Ingram
5. Yeah,
he's Evan Ingram. Yeah.
All right, Mark Andrews,
big body.
Where you got Mark Andrews?
11.
11. Okay, that's where I have Jonnu. I got Mark Andrews 19th.
You just have him, so you think he's done? You think he's washed?
I think he's washed, but it's not that I think Isaiah Likely takes over either, because I have Likely 25.
I got both of them higher than you have Mark Andrews.
I just think Baltimore passes less this year, and I think those two guys just cancel each other out. Like Mark Andrews' big upside is touchdown, so I understand chasing him. He had double-digit touchdowns last year. But Lamar threw for 40 touchdowns. I don't think that happens this year, so I think there is a big touchdown regression. I have him getting 6, which I think is fair.
No, fair, completely fair, for sure.
I just think him and Likely almost cancel each other out. Like, I wish they were one tight end. Like, if I could draft the Ravens tight end room and start him, I'm in then, because that's 800, 900 yards, 10 touchdowns. And that is a top 5 tight end in fantasy football.
I see what you're saying.
I just think they're going to cancel each other out. I think Likely has the better ceiling. Like, I have him projected more yards, but I have him projected the same amount of catches and less touchdowns. So Mark Andrews is going to get the valuable points and touchdowns that, like, I just don't think it works out, but I understand putting him in the top 12 because the chances of him getting 10 touchdowns are better than 95% of these guys.
Oh, 100%. It's every year he plays, except 2 years ago he was hurt. He's finished a top 7 tight end. He was tight end 6 last season. The year before that was 15 because he was hurt. He only played in 10 games. And then 4, 1, 6, and 5 were his finishes and then his rookie season. He's just a super safe option in my eyes because he plays in Baltimore. If he played anywhere else, like a dog shit team, I would not want Mark Andrews. I want him because Lamar Jackson's his quarterback. I want him because of the system he's in. And like you said, he has the ability he had 11 touchdowns last year on only 69 targets. I think the targets are going to be, if not more than 69 this year. I think it's probably going to go up because he's going to be more healthy than he was. He started god-awful last year because he was hurt. He was in a car accident in the offseason. He was hurt for the first 5-6 weeks. He wasn't the same. And then it finally came back, and you've seen he was way more involved in the offense. I think Mark Andrews kind of reverts back to what Mark Andrews was. He's still only 29. He's not even 30. So he's not washed, I don't think, in my eyes. He's got Lamar as his quarterback, so I'm trusting Mark Andrews. That's what it comes down to.
That's fair. That's completely understandable because, like I said, the tight end position's weak. So if you're going to chase a guy, you're going to chase a guy with either an elite quarterback or touchdown upside, and Mark Andrews happens to have both of those. He's got Lamar, and he's got the ability to score 10 touchdowns. I'm just more on the fence that he's not the guy anymore.
And I get that. I don't think his season was 55 catches, 673 yards, 11 touchdowns. I think we're looking at 65 catches, so a little bit more, not much, around 750 yards, and 6 to 8 touchdowns. So his touchdowns are going to take a regression, and I don't think he's going to finish top 5. He's tight end 6 last year, so I do have him taking a step back, but I am still comfortable with him as a tight end on my team.
I have him at 46 catches for 472 yards.
Mark Andrews hit the fucking bench, dog.
Yeah, but I am likely at 44 for 541. I just think both these guys are they're just going to cancel each other out.
Do you think
they hurt
Bateman
each other's
steps
value.
up?
I have Bateman around 700 yards.
Because they use Bateman very similar to how they use their tight ends. They stretch the field with them. They don't run these kind of dink and dunk tight end routes. They get these tight ends heavily involved.
Yeah. Bateman, I'm at 51 for 728 and 6.
Okay.
So, and then Flowers, I have just over 1,000 yards on 79 catches. Baltimore's one of those teams where it's just their passing game, and I just don't think they're going to pass as much as they did last year.
They're hard to stat out because everyone's going to take a regression on that team except pretty much Derrick Henry. Yeah. So it's kind of where you're going to play, but because he's not going to have 40 touchdowns, and that's the problem, and he's not going to have close to the 4. How many passing yards did he have last year? He had over 4,000, right?
Yeah. I think it was the first time he's been over 4,000 yards.
So that's going to be hard to do again, so... I get having him where you have him. I see both cases, for sure. Yeah.
And even with him at 19, he's in the same bucket and tier as Judkins and Jennings, who I have at 13. I just think Judkins Johnson, I think volume-wise is why I'm chasing him. I'd be much more comfortable starting Mark Andrews than I would Judkins Johnson, despite the fact they're
I see what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah, this was Lamar's career high of 4,100 yards. The year before, he had 3,600.
Yeah, so there's a good chance it's going to be in that range. It's going to be 36 to 41. It's going to be hard to get over 4,000 though for him because it's not consistently what he does. Yeah,
and that's not a thing Baltimore wants to do. I have him at 3,900 yards and 28 touchdowns.
I believe Mark Andrews is being drafted as the tight end 8 though, so that's still a little bit rich for my liking, to be honest. I like Mark Andrews, but I have him a little bit down. I wouldn't take him over Ingram or Njoku, who he's being drafted over. I would easily take those other guys.
Yeah. Who else did you have there in your bottom half?
Kraft, Andrews, Gesicki, Warren, Njoku, and Laporta.
Okay, so I have Laporta and Njoku in my top 5.
And then I have Kelsey at 6.
Okay, I have Kelsey at 7. Did you not have Hawkinson's in your top 5?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a little higher on Hawkins than I have. I have him an 8.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about Kelsey then. You have him at 6. I have him at 7. Travis Kelsey's got this narrative that he's no longer is good at. It's no longer good at football.
Freaking 90 catches last year.
Yeah, and yes, Travis Kelsey is not what he was when we were drafting him in the first round of fantasy football. He hasn't had 1,000 yards in 2 seasons, and I don't think there's a world where he is going to be a 1,000-yard guy.
Disagree.
I just don't think he's going to get 130 targets again, but I still think he's the most valuable guy in this passing game. Like, I know we had the debate months ago about Rice or Worthy and which one of these guys we'd want, and I was leaning towards Worthy over Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I'm going to take a part of the Chiefs passing game, I think I'm going to take Travis Kelsey, because this is the cheapest you're ever going to get this guy.
He's going after Rice and Worthy.
Yeah.
Rice and Worthy are going in the 5th and 6th round, I think, or 4th and 5th. And Kelsey's going like 6th or 7th round. He had 97 catches last year. The year before that, he had 93. The year before that, he had 110. He's a PPR god. Yeah. If you play full point PPR, Travis Kelsey is a starting tight end every single week, regardless of the situation. He's going to put up these stats. Last year, he only had 3 touchdowns. The year before that, he had 5. Those are huge downgrades because of the way Kansas City played offense. I think it's going to be very similar to the way they play this year. It's going to be low-scoring grind games, keep it 1-score game, and then we'll close it out at the end, because at the end of the day, we have Andy Reid, we have Patrick Mahomes, and we have Travis Kelsey. We can easily win these games because we have 3 of the greatest football minds ever. I still think Travis Kelsey is a really good fantasy option, and if we're sitting here at the end of the season with Travis Kelsey at 100 catches and 1,000 yards, I would not be shocked.
Yeah, he's currently going 7-1. The first pick of the 7th round.
He cut down too. He's put the work in this offseason. He's cut down 15, 20 pounds. Last season, he had a lot going on, obviously, with his personal life. He's doing a bunch of stuff. He's a big-time celebrity now. This year, he's set. I think this is Kelsey's last season. I think he balls out, dude.
Yeah, I think losing the Super Bowl's kind of lit something under him and
I
this
agree.
team in general. But I don't see 1,000 yards. I'm at 111 targets, but
it wouldn't shock me if he had 1,000 yards.
I have him at 700 yards, 80 catches, almost 6 touchdowns. I think the touchdowns go up. I think the yardage and the catches go down, but still at a position where there's not really a premium minus 3 guys. I like, if you had Travis Kelsey ranked 4th, it wouldn't be something where I'd just be like, you're out of your mind. So
I agree. Calendar just fell off the wall.
Yeah, I think where I think Travis Kelsey is a safe pick. Like, we
couldn't
look
agree
at him
more.
We look at him negatively because he was drafted a little higher last year, 3rd round, 4th round. I don't know where he was going. And then the year before that, he was a 1st round guy. So yeah, he's declined fantasy wise, but he's still at a position where you don't have a ton of guys that you could rely on. I still think Travis Kelsey is a reliable piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Doug. Yeah, I'm at 6. I'm pretty confident with Kelsey.
All right. Who are your top 6? We'll just do them, and then we'll talk about Laporta and Njoku, because I got them in my top 5.
My top 6 are Kelsey, who we just talked about, TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota, Evan Ingram, Denver, George Kittle, San Fran, Trey McBride, Arizona, Brock Bowers, Las Vegas.
I got Ingram at 6. I got Laporta at 5. Njoku at 4. Kittle, McBride, Bowers. All right. Before we dive into
the same top 8.
Yeah. And
so
I think
it is the same.
Those
I
are
agree.
the 8 guys that you could just lock in, and I'm good.
I agree.
Before we dive into the rest of these, let's shout out our affiliates. First one, Finley Hats. They make hats built for good times. They got a lifetime warranty, so if your hat is damaged or destroyed, they'll replace it or repair it free of cost. They got free shipping across the U.S. They got these cool little laces. You can customize these pins. I got some little pieces that you could put on there. This one's got the generic one in it, but they got little pockets as well. They're just cool hats built for good times. They're comfortable. They fit my big ass head. They make extra large sizes where I can snap it to all the way, and it fits nice and snug. So yeah, and they got kids hats. They got all kinds of stuff, clothes, beanies, snapbacks, dad hats, whatever you want. They got it. Check them out. They got mystery boxes, a ton of cool stuff. They do drops every Friday. I just bought a ton more hats. One's like the icy logo and it says Finley. It's really cool. That'll be here in a couple weeks, so you'll see it here. So check them out. Finley hats in the description of the video. There will be a link, click it, and if it's your first time purchase, you'll get a cool 15% off your purchase. You'll be supporting them, and you'll be supporting us here at the podcast. So Finley hats, join the force. And then, of course, W Energy. They pride themselves on full ingredient disclosure, no artificial dyes, no sweeteners. They just dropped a new flavor, yuzu fruit. I bought it. It'll be here in a couple days, and it's coming with a mystery flavor. That was an option as well for me. So we got the mystery flavor. Fingers crossing that it's s'mores, because I really kind of want to try that one with milk. But they got a ton of cool flavors, so check them out at W. They got an app. Look in your Apple App Store, your Google Play Store, search W Energy. They'll be there. Download it. You can order, or you can go to their site, w.gg, and use the code DRAFTEDUP for a nice 10% discount, and that goes for any purchase you make. So you'll be supporting our friends at W. You'll be supporting us. Be better with W Energy. Eat that dub.
Hell yeah, dog. Good ad reads. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Not even a read. I don't have any. I have nothing in front of me. It.
No? You type them out? You don't have them in front of you?
No.
Oh, okay. Impressive.
Yeah.
All right. I see you, big dog.
I just got my tight ends in front of me.
All right. Okay. You sent me that little thing for Finley. They all joint holders on their hats.
Yes, they do have J holders that you can clip to the holes here.
Targeting to my audience.
You can buy laces as well and customize your laces, switch them in and out. A ton of cool stuff over there. Yeah.
Go support them.
Yeah. All right. Let's dive into these guys. Let's start with TJ Hawkinson first, because he's the one that we differ on. Because I have him at 8, and you have him in your top 5. I guess Njoku and Laporta fit this boat as well, because you have them in your bottom half. They're both in my top 5.
I think he's like almost one of the safest tight ends in football this year, just based off of being in Minnesota. Addison's gonna get suspended, even if it's only 3 games. He's gonna get so much work in those 3 games, and I think JJ's just gonna love him. I think JJ's gonna use him. I get Jetta's gonna be the safety blanket. Jetta's gonna be Jetta. He's gonna do what he does. He's gonna have a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
But I think Hawkinson's going to also be a 1A safety blanket. Hawkinson's one of the smartest tight ends. He runs a clean route. He does everything you want a tight end to do perfectly. There's a reason he went so high in the draft. He is gonna. I think it's gonna click. I think he's gonna be so good. We seen it 2 years ago in Minnesota. I think he's a PPR, another PPR god. I think he's right there with Kelsey, especially in this offense. I think Hawkinson can honestly finish tight end 1.
Here we go. If I would stat out TJ Hawkinson for 1 more touchdown, he'd be my tight end 5. That's how close I have.
Yeah. I get it. What do you have him statted out for?
80 catches, 787 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm very similar, but I have the average as a little. I have 80 for 840 and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. So if he scores, that's been the thing. He doesn't score a ton, and that's why he ended up at 8.
I think he's going to get at least 2 or 3 touchdowns in the games Addison's suspended. I think he's going to eat what Dory knows time.
But he's, to me, like, safer than David Njoku, who I have at 4. And
for sure.
I trust him a little bit more than Sam Laporta, who I have at 5. And I think he's potentially more productive than Evan Ingram, who I have at 6. Like, all these guys are clumped together to me. They're in the same tier. Like, George Kittle's in his own tier. And then Trey McBride and Brock Bowers are tier 1. Kittle by himself.
It's hard to put someone in Brock Bowers' tier, but McBride is in that tier. I'll give it to him.
I have 20 points between them, so like there's a decent gap.
Yeah, if someone sat here and told me you have Bowers in his own tier, McBride in his own tier, George Kittle in his own tier,
I would be fine if you told me McBride and Kittle were your tier 2. Like, maybe that's probably more reasonable. Bowers in his tier by himself, Kittle and McBride together. I
still think McBride is. I think McBride leans more towards the top tier than the second tier.
I agree, but with the San Francisco problem, George Kittle could.
He could finish tight end 1 for sure, 100%. 100%. We've seen him do it before.
Yeah, TJ Hawkinson's downfall for me is touchdowns, but incredibly reliable. Like, I would probably draft him over the guys I have in front of him because I think there's a better floor there for him. Like Njoku, who I love. I think Njoku's going to have a great year. Obviously, I have him at 4, but there's way more quarterback questions in Cleveland than there is in Minnesota. I get it, Minnesota's starting J.J. McCarthy, but in Cleveland, we don't know who we're getting. It could be Kenny Pickett, it could be Joe Flacco, it could be Shadur Sanders at some point, it could be Dylan Gabriel at some point. We don't know.
Guess what?
And
it's going to be probably 3 of those 4 guys all season.
Yeah.
And also Cleveland's offense it's bad. Minnesota's offense is going to be good regardless of what happens. So Njoku just worries me. Like at the end of the day, everyone in Cleveland's offense could just shit the bed.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised.
And then with Sam Laporta, he's
so touchdown dependent, dude.
He's the 5th most important person in this offense?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think he's as safe of a PPR option as Hawkinson.
No.
I think Hawkinson is a PPR lock. He's so safe.
Yeah, Laporta finished really well
is,
last year. He was in the top 5.
Yeah. And
that was with only, 6 touchdowns? 7 touchdowns?
I think like 7 or 8 last season. I think he really turned it on.
Which was a downgrade to his rookie year.
7 touchdowns. Yeah, he was 60 for 707.
So I think I don't think he teeters too much lower than 7. So a 7's a decent floor.
That's if that's the floor. Like, God forbid he finishes with that stat line and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh God, what happened? That's a bad season.
And then Evan Ingram,
he has a fucking 100 catches. God forbid if Evan.
He doesn't get touchdowns, so he is PPR reliable. He's on a new team, so there's question marks there. Like, we're obviously a lot higher on Ingram in Denver than a lot of people. Like, he's going as the tight end 10.
I can get to that real
5,
quick.
6, 7,
tight
8,
end 9.
9
on my list. Yeah.
I like that.
You also have to remember how bad he was last year. He wasn't good in the games he played last season.
No.
He had 47 catches for 365 yards. That's like 7 yards a carry. That's the catch. That's bad. So Evan Ingram's a lot of question marks. It's just that I love him in the Sean Payton's offense, where Courtland Sutton's really the only established pass catcher. So I think Bo Nix is going to eat up Evan Ingram. I just need Evan Ingram out there for all 17. That's what I need from Evan Ingram.
Yeah. Like, I don't have Ingram projected for a ton of yards or a good yards per catch. I have him.
I think I have him 9.5, something like that a catch. It's 77 catches and 750 yards, something like that.
I got him for 7.6 yards per catch.
Woo! That's bad.
Because I just think that's kind of where he's at now. But
especially if they're using him in the Joker role.
But PPR value,
take
I have him at almost 90 catches.
I agree. I think he could push that. I think he could have a really high upseason just based off catches. But he's going to be eating a bunch of screens and slants, and he's not going to be working the ball down the field. So it's going to be pretty low. But I like Evan Ingram's upside for sure, especially with Bo Nix and Sean Payton.
We're in the boat where we want pieces of the Denver offense.
For sure.
I think Marvin Mims is a good long shot sleeper pick.
You keep pushing it. I love it.
That's my guy. He's good, dude. Look at the back end.
He's good when he's on the field. Yeah. When he's on the field, 20% of the games.
The last 4 games last year, he was a top 5 wide receiver, and he was on, and that was on 36% of the snaps, and he was on pace for 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns. This guy's
that's still
legitimate.
not enough. That's not enough percentage of the snaps. I need him on the field more.
It was 11% more than he was getting.
That's when you're only on the field for 20% of the snaps, an 11% increase is huge.
Put this dude on the field, he will produce.
I'm with you, but is he going to be on the field?
I don't know. It's really hard to kind of project. Evan Ingram, and I think that's why we have him higher. It's I have him at 6. You have him what? 4, 5,
4.
Yeah, we think he is the second option in the passing game behind Courtland Sutton. And really, in Denver, we think Bo Nix is going to have a great year. We both had him as our tight end or our quarterback 6. So, if Bo Nix does what we think he's going to do, go to QB 6, somebody else in this offense in the passing game is going to be fantasy relevant. It's not just going to be Courtland Sutton, and we both think it's Evan Ingram. I think he's got the best floor to do that. So, but it wouldn't surprise me at the end of the day if Evan Ingram was tight end 10, 11, 12, and one of these other receivers, whether it be Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, Devon Vele steps up into the role of fantasy relevance next to Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, and I honestly think those guys just all cancel each other out. B. Mims, Franklin, Vele. Unfortunately, I like all three of those guys as players, though.
That's fair.
And I like them as football players. I don't think Peyton's going to use them just individually. I think they're all just going to be rotation guys doing different stuff. But yeah, man, it wouldn't surprise me if I had to pick one of the 8 guys out of my 8 safe tight ends. It would be Evan Ingram, who is the most risky in my eyes. But,
more than Njoku, even with the mess of Cleveland?
Yeah, because when Evan Ingram gets bad, it's bad, dude. Because it's such a low percentage.
You know from experience.
Yeah, as a Giants fan, it was a struggle. He's not going to eat a bunch of touchdowns. He's not a good red zone option, but he's going to get you to the red zone. He's a great option for 80 yards. And then when those 20 yards comes, he's just not relevant at all. So it can be ups and downs, but we've seen Evan Ingram have 100+ catches in a career in Jacksonville or in a season. So it's definitely in the realm of possibility with one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the history of football, who has a history of loving tight ends, and a young and upping quarterback. So it's just all coming together for Evan Ingram this year. It's just a matter if he's able to, 1, be out there, and 2, just put together a full season.
Yeah. David Njoku. He's a real wild card.
He's such a specimen, dude.
He
should be the best tight end in football. If you're looking at like these 8 guys and you're like a normal person, like, who is the best tight end out of these 8 guys? They're not going to pick Brock Bowers, dude. He's a weird looking cat. Njoku is built like LeBron James, dude. He is something you like sculpt out of Marvel. He is us. Go on hours about this guy. He is something. Yeah. I love this guy coming out of college, so I'm happy they're finally putting it together here for him. Former
first-round pick in the last few years. He has been really fantasy relevant, courtesy of Kevin Stefanski. Like,
thank God.
When they paid him, we were just like, why are they paying? Like, all we wanted was Njoku to get out of Cleveland, and his contract was coming up. We're like, it's going to happen.
We were hyped.
He's going to go to a
it's
team.
Finally coming.
Like, and then they re-signed him, and we're just like, why? Like, why did he want to stay?
Yeah.
And why did they sign this guy that they weren't utilizing? And Kevin Stefanski is like, let's get this guy in the field. Let's do work with him. And really, like, two years ago with Joe Flacco, even last year, 81 catches for 882 yards, or 2 years ago, sorry. Yeah, the year with Flacco. 81 for 882 and 6. Yeah, majestic. Yeah. And then, like, he ended the year before that really strong. Like, you started seeing it come together. And last year he was okay. 500 yards. He dealt with the burn stuff. He missed some time. I just think in this depleted offense where it's just like you don't really want pieces, I think he's the safest guy in the passing game.
I agree.
And essentially, like I have him as my tight end 4, but it's because he's getting 130 targets in my projections. Whereas, and
that's a possibility for sure.
Sam Laporta, who's one spot under him, I don't even have 100 projected targets for him. And Evan Ingram, I have at 112. Like, I just think it's going to be volume work, and I think he's going to utilize. Like, I have him projected for almost 90 catches, 800 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So, like, I think if I'm going to take a shot on one of these guys, I think Njoku has the highest ceiling. But I think his floor is a struggle because of the offense, not because of the talent.
Yeah, I think he's in almost the same boat as Evan Ingram. Like, it could be really bad if, God forbid, Kenny Pickett's just out there for like 10 games for some reason. If they're just like, here, Kenny Pickett, take the ball for 10 games. No one on that team scoring touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy would become irrelevant. We've seen Jerry Jeudy with bad quarterback play. It's not that good.
No.
So hopefully it's Flacco and then like the 2 rookies, and they just pepper Njoku with targets because he can handle a workload.
That's what I projected out as.
And I hope that happens for him because the offense should run through Njoku. I get Jerry Jeudy did what Jerry Jeudy did last year, and he looked phenomenal. I think Njoku is a better football player at the end of the day than Jerry Jeudy. I think he's a more consistent option. I think he's going to be a more reliable target for any quarterback on that team, especially the rookies. A deep threat wide receiver that's pretty much a couple route kind of guy isn't really a safe option for a young rookie quarterback. Njoku could eat up the middle of the field, open up targets. The offense should run through Njoku this year. Hopefully that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's ultimately what went into my projection, is that I project Cleveland
which
to
makes
be
sense.
Yeah, and I'm not as high on the Cleveland running game, so I think they're going to be passing
Hey,
a ton.
Hey, I don't know who's high on that. I'm not high on the Cleveland running game anymore. Get out of here.
Judkins incident,
I don't want anything to do with that backfield.
Yeah. Sam Laporta, we briefly touched on him. He's really touchdown dependent.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's all right.
And if you take him, like, I don't hate where he's going. He's going at the 5'3", right around with Hawkinson. Like, I think those guys are similar. Like, Hawkinson, I think, is going to catch his way to fantasy relevant. And I think Laporta can score his way to relevant. So I understand taking Laporta over Hawkinson because of the touchdown upside and the better quarterback. Jared Goff is more proven right now than J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, for sure.
But with Laporta, you got to understand the spike weeks because Amon-Ra's there. Jameson Williams, we project to make a bigger step up in this offense. And then, of course, Gibbs and Montgomery, there's going to be weeks where Sam Laporta is not involved in the game plan.
Yeah, there are going to be weeks where Jared Goff has one passing touchdown, and it's to Amon-Ra. And fucking Laporta's got 3 catches for
25 yards.
30 yards. Yeah, it's nothing, and you're sitting there. Oh, it's rough. It is what it is. This is going to sound crazy because I backed up Mark Andrews 50 minutes ago. I think Laporta is about to become what Mark Andrews was for many years. He's going to be a really high drafted tight end that's really just touchdown dependent, and he's going to have these huge spike years because like his rookie year, he had 10 plus touchdowns. But when it falls to like 6 or 7, you're looking at a middle of the road tight end, and some weeks are going to be a lot rougher than others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's not as safe, and he was tight end 1, and he was drafted last year as a top 3 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not the same as a guy like Brock Bowers, who did it last year as a rookie. So back-to-back years we've seen a rookie go tight end 1. Bowers, though, can get by on his playmaking ability as a pass catcher, whereas Laporta isn't going to be a guy who catches 100 passes week in or year in and year out.
That's not going to happen for Laporta. And like Brock Bowers finished tight end 1 with 5 touchdowns. That's less than Laporta has ever had in his career. Yeah. So and if Laporta happens to hit 5,
finished as 2 and he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. So like these guys aren't touchdown dependent like Laporta is. So I prefer my tight ends because we play full point PPR. I want my tight ends to be PPR options like Evan Ingram, Hawkinson, George Kittle, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers. That's why I have these guys over Laporta. I prefer a point per catch because it's just free points for the tight end. Yeah. I'm not getting a touchdown every week out of a tight end, but I'm getting 3 or 4 catches, and that kind of equals out in the long run.
Yeah. But I understand chasing touchdown upside.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, for sure. And after I have the guys that are actual PPR options, then I start chasing touchdowns.
Yeah. Like Evan Ingram, we know, isn't going to score 10 touchdowns.
No, but I still have him as...
Could. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I would be comfortable with... Because touchdowns fluctuate, targets and catches usually don't fluctuate as much as touchdowns do.
All right. Top 3 guys. George Kittle.
Yeah, they're all good, man.
This boy is efficient. Like, rarely gets over 100 targets, but...
he can handle the workload if asked.
His like yards after catching, and Kittle again, he also has spike weeks because there's weeks where George Kittle, they just like, hey George, we need you to block, and he's just like, fuck yeah, let's do it, let's rumble. And then there's other weeks where like, George, we need you 8 catches, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, and you're loving it. But I think Kittle is sort of creeping to a more consistent rate where you're just like, I agree.
You kind of know what you're going to get.
Yeah, he was more consistent last year from what I remember. But, and again, we brought it up at the beginning of the show, Judkins Jennings, his issue. Like, as long as George Kittle is there in the passing game, I'm not too worried about who the receivers are in San Francisco because it is George Kittle is the wide receiver 1. And you could argue that Christian McCaffrey is the wide receiver 2 on this team. So
quick update on last season on Kittle. Quick update. Week 1 through 17, I'm not counting week 18 because it doesn't matter to me. It's not fantasy relevant. Every single week, he was the top 12 tight end except one, and that was versus Buffalo. But that was
that weird snow game that McCaffrey got hurt.
Yeah, it was a weird game. But every other week, he was a top 12 tight end. So George Kittle last year was easily one of the most consistent tight ends of football.
Yeah, like you're getting a guy who's going to push 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
push 7+ touchdowns.
80 catches, maybe more. And
he's one of the few tight ends who has like big playmaking ability. Like George Kittle has the ability to take an 80-yard bomb to the house.
Yeah, but he can also take like slants to the house.
Yeah,
like he's like a thick Odell Beckham dude. He could eat an 8-yard like slant and then just rip it upfield and truck through the safeties, and he's gone, dude, and no one's catching him. Kittle's a special freak, dude. I so remember the George Kittle Travis Kelsey debate 6-7 years ago, and in my eyes, Kelsey blew him out of the water. But it is kind of funny now how the George Kittle has just remained so consistent, and Kelsey's kind of taking that step back. So we'll see how it plays out this year.
I love where he's going. He's going at the beginning of the 4th round. I think that's incredible value at that spot.
Yeah, man. Him and McCaffrey, I'm all in on those two guys from this offense.
Yeah. All right. Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. These dudes.
Trey McBride, hopefully he is well more involved in the touchdown aspect.
They tried.
Six career touchdowns from this guy.
They try. That he gets goal line opportunities, and it just nothing ever goes his way. But Trey McBride could get 150 targets. I still think even with Marv there, I still think Trey McBride is the focal point of the passing game over Marvin Harrison. Now obviously that could change. We're going into year 2 of Marv. He's bulked up, but right now I haven't seen it. So I lean towards, and I even did that last year, even with Marv being higher, I still had McBride projected more targets, and I still think that leans that way. And he's probably going to push 100 catches, if not 115, and he's going to get 1,000 yards. It's whether or not the touchdowns are going to be there. He had 3 touchdowns last year, and 1 was on the ground.
3 total touchdowns. Yeah, 1 was a fumble recovery. Marv had 116 targets last year. McBride had 147. So 30 difference. I think it's going to level out, but I do think at the end of the day, McBride has more targets than Marv in that offense. I need him to get more touchdowns, though. I'm not chasing touchdowns with my tight ends. I just admitted that. But my God, I want more than 2, dude. I want more than 2 receiving touchdowns. And even his career high is 3. I want more than that. I want my floor to be 4 if you're pumping out a bunch of catches. But if your range is 4 to 7, I'm cool with that. So I need Kyler Murray to get these guys the ball. I know it's not his job to get these guys the ball. So
no, it's not my job.
But I need you to do that, big dog. I need you to get the ball to Trey McBride and Marv in the red zone. But last year, 111 catches, 1,100 yards. All of that's in the possibility again. He could easily push the same amount of targets, 100-some catches, 1,100 yards. Add some touchdowns in there, dude. He could push Brock Bowers for tight end 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I have him at 110 for 1,105.
Yeah, that's definitely possibilities.
Yeah. And I completely get taking him at the back end of the second round, because at that point, the top receivers are probably off the board, and you're looking at Trey McBride or T. Higgins or Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I would take him over JSN, but I wouldn't take him over. You said Nico, right?
No, I said T.
Oh,
T. Higgins, JSN.
Ooh. Yeah, no, oh, God. T. Higgins, I'm so in on T. Higgins this year.
I always want to be in on
T.
Higgins.
But my God, can he play a full season, man?
I completely understand being hesitant on taking T. Higgins and taking a guy who is reliable and always out there like Trey McBride. But yeah, those Ladd McConkey's going in that range. I'm more comfortable with Trey McBride than all those guys. So I
I'm
going
for sure.
Back end of the second. And then Brock Bowers, he's going at the beginning of the second. Superstar?
Worried the
worried?
slightest?
No.
In that Pete Carroll has never had a player have 100 catches. Ever.
I don't care.
We don't care?
I don't care. I don't. Okay, who are these guys Pete Carroll's had?
Well, it's DK, Tyler
DK.
Lockett.
No, he's
Guys
Tyler
like
Lockett.
that.
These are just big play guys who they don't work the middle of the field like that. They try to stretch the field. Pete Carroll wants to run. I'm more worried about the fact that the Raiders become a really run-heavy team than I am about a guy who's never had 100 catches under Pete Carroll. Because I think Brock Bowers is a different kind of... Pete Carroll's never had a guy like Brock Bowers who could
that's
work
a phenomenal argument.
Field.
That is a great argument.
Like DK, Tyler Lockett, these guys are field stretchers. Brock Bowers is chunk play, chunk play, chunk play, chunk play.
I see that. I'm not more so worried about them becoming they're going to be a run-heavy team because that's what Carroll wants. But I'm not worried about Mostert. I don't think Mostert's going to be heavily involved. So I think it's just Genty at the end of the day. But if they had an actual reliable backup, I would be then more worried that then they're going to be a really run-heavy team. But since it's just Genty, I think it's still going to be pretty pass-heavy with Geno. And they still have Myers. They have a decent group of guys around their offense. But I agree. I think Brock Bowers, at the end of the day, is going to be safe. But he had 112 catches. So if he has 97, it's still not a huge step back. Because his yards are still going to be around the same.
Touchdown upside with Geno Smith.
With Geno, I agree.
The garbage he was putting out last year with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I couldn't even put a cap on his touchdowns, to be honest. I think it's endless.
Yeah. Other receivers.
If we sit here and be like, Geno got him 16 touchdowns last year, I would be like, yeah. Brock Bowers is elite, and Geno's a really competent quarterback. Yeah. So it would not shock me.
Yep. Two other guys that played for Pete Carroll, Doug Baldwin, Golden Tate. Again, field stretchers.
Golden Tate. Throwback names. Doug Baldwin, Stanford, classic.
He did have JSN, but
it was only a year, right?
Yeah,
it was his rookie season. So, I don't expect 100 catches out of a guy who has DK and Lockett around him.
I think had Pete Carroll been there last year with JSN as the number 2 or the number 1 essentially.
Number 1.
I think JSN would have flirted with 90 plus catches because he's not a field stretching type receiver. Like he's not big play. He's a chunk guy.
No, JSN can rip off. Do you know how many catches he had last year? I think he had over 100, right?
I think he had 101.
Good podcasting. He had 100 catches last year. Yeah, he had exactly 100 catches.
Yeah. So, Pete Carroll's never had that guy who could just work the middle of the field like that and just pick up those 8 to 10 yards every time they catch the ball.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily worried, but it is something to keep in the back of your mind that maybe Brock Bowers doesn't see as much of a target share because of the system that they're in. They're going to be running a little bit more. Geno's going to spread the ball more than the terrible quarterbacks they had last year because he's a competent quarterback. Yeah. He knows how to read a defense, go from read 1, 2, 3, 4, check down. Unlike Aiden O'Connell, who is hiking the ball and looking at Brock Bowers the whole time and be like, oh God, is he open? Is he open? Is he open?
Beat Kansas City last year, so.
Hey man, I love mustache, dude. I'm a big Aiden O'Connell guy. I don't like him as a football player. I like him as a person.
But I think if the receptions go down, I think there's an opportunity for more yards, more touchdowns. I think Brock Bowers can be a field stretcher. So,
I agree. I think whatever they ask him to do, even if he has 90 catches, he could push 1,200, 1,300 yards.
Yep.
Double-digit touchdowns is in the possibility because he has Geno and Pete Carroll now running the offense. I honestly think Brock Bowers could finish as wide receiver 3, 4 behind, in the same realm of possibility with CD, Justin Jefferson.
He can do what Travis Kelsey was doing for years, and you were drafting him.
100%.
I think Brock Bowers in that same boat. So
if Brock Bowers had 100 catches, 1,300 yards, and 10 touchdowns, I would be like, that makes sense. He's a wide receiver 1. He's an elite athlete. He's more than just a tight end. He's one of the best fantasy options in football.
Yeah. All right. There it is. 12 tight ends. A little bit more because we had two different guys.
Yeah,
we got
a
to talk
couple
about
out of there,
Jonnu.
for sure.
Oh, no, it was just Jonnu. Jonnu and Mark Andrews were the only two we had different. We had 11 of the same 12.
We talked a little bit Kyle Pitts, baby. The real tight end, one of our hearts.
Pitts, Kincaid. I talked about Juwan Johnson.
Pity City.
Yeah, I'll just throw some names out.
Where do you have Colston Loveland?
14.
A high draft rookie.
I'm at 14.
14?
I think.
I'm 17.
And I get that. You got the shoulder issue. You got an offense. You're not as high on the Bears' passing offense as I am. I
think Burden's going to be involved. I think everyone's going to be involved. Yeah. Even Cole Kmet. They have two tight ends. Cole Kmet, I think, is going to be involved a little bit more, honestly, on blocking plays. Colston Loveland still can't block.
I think Loveland could be a league winner because I think come the end of the year, I think he'll be healthier and more involved. I think he's a guy to keep an eye on, watch your waivers, and maybe try to be a week or two ahead on him. I don't think he's going to give you too much early, but I think there's the upside for him to the stretch run the last 5-6 weeks of the fantasy season.
Yeah, where you need to buckle in and grind in. I could see that. I could actually see that. I didn't really think about that. Colston Loveland definitely could go on a back end stretch where he's more involved in the offense, and that's kind of what you're looking for, especially with tight ends. Because if you're streaming the position, you're gonna need someone to fill it out at the end of the season and get you through the playoffs.
How about some golden oldies? Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, Hunter Henry. How do you feel about those guys?
Zach Ertz, I have at 22. Hunter Henry, I have at 24. Who was the other one?
Dallas
Goedert, 15.
Okay, I got Goddard at 21. I got Henry and Ertz at 17 and 18.
Okay.
Yeah, big Zach Ertz guy. Me.
Yeah, big Zach Ertz guy. I honestly think Ben Sinnott is going to be he's going to be involved this season.
Would love to see it, but I still think Ertz.
I hate to compare him to Trey McBride, but it's literally just going to be the same exact arc. He's a second round pick last season, like Trey McBride was. He's got what's-his-face as his offensive coordinator.
Cliff Kingsbury. He's got a mobile quarterback, Jaden Daniels.
He's got the mobile quarterback. And then he's got Zach Ertz in front of him. An old, decrepit tight end, and Zach Ertz was old 4 years ago. Yeah.
If Zach Ertz gets injured, I don't think he gets his job back. And I love Ben Sinnott. So...
Yeah, I agree. I think Ben Sinnott is a guy to just sneakily keep an eye on. It could be him.
How about... the other rookies, Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson.
I have Taylor and Ferguson back to. I don't have him.
And Elijah Arroyo.
I have Taylor and Ferguson back to back at 26, 27. I'm worried about their involvements. I think Taylor's going to be involved early, but I think Ferguson has the Loveland ability in the back end of the stretch to be really involved in the Rams offense. He's someone I really want in best ball in dynasty leagues. I think Ferguson's going to be heavily involved late in the season.
Yeah, Mason Taylor, there's a chance he's the Jets' second option in the passing game.
For sure.
So I think his upside's a little bit higher.
Garrett Wilson got banked. That was news we didn't report on.
He did get a ton of money. Good for him. Deserved it.
4 years, a ton of money guaranteed. Hell of a deal.
$130 million. Yeah.
They pretty much paid Sauce Gardner the same exact deal today.
Yeah. Good. So they keep those guys locked in. But
lock those guys down.
Mason Taylor, though.
Side, we're just getting off topic at this point. It's so funny how Garrett Wilson did not want to be there last year with Rodgers. And the second Rodgers leaves, he's like, oh, you're going to pay me? I'll stay. This place isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Well, anyone's better than Rodgers, dude. He's such a culture killer at this point.
But Mason Taylor, though, there's a chance he's the second option in this passing game. And the Jets, Justin Fields probably can't withhold two fantasy options. But if somebody's there, I think Mason Taylor is the best chance over whoever they throw out wide receiver 2, unless they sign Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper, because those guys are upgrades over Tyler Johnson, Alan Lazard, Josh Reynolds.
I don't think that their wide receiver 2 is going to be very fantasy relevant, but Taylor's going to have spike weeks where he's a top 12 tight end for sure. It's going to happen. It's just not going to be consistent at all.
I also think Elijah Arroyo, he's a guy to keep an eye on in terms of, like, I think he's going to play a lot in the slot. I think they're going to move him around. Like, I think he's going to be more involved than you do. I know you said you think Noah Fant's going to be more involved. I actually think Elijah Arroyo is going to be a back end of the year, like, keep an eye on guy and going to outplay. I think Font's going to be on there to block, but I think Elijah Arroyo could be a legitimate field stretcher because he's that kind of athlete. Ferguson, I'm not as high on in the Rams offense. Tyler Higbee's still there, but I think he could be end of the year. I think the beginning of the year, Higbee's still going to be there eating up time, and Matt Stafford loves Tyler Higbee. So I don't know how much involvement Terrence Ferguson gets because the Rams have a lot of mouths to feed, and Puka and Devontae, Tutu Atwell's still there, Jordan Whittington, Kyron Williams. Like, there's a lot of guys to go around. So, but Ferguson, Tyler Higbee is always banged up though, so if he goes down, I think Ferguson is a guy to keep an eye on stash.
Ferguson's also someone McVay can use outside of the tight end position though. He can move him around a lot like Cooper Kupp did. He can move him in motion, and McVay always has guys in motions. He's super athletic. He was exactly like Colson Loveland coming out, so I get why McVay I'm pretty sure they traded up in the second round to get him.
All right, last
someone
name.
I'm very high on though is Brendan Strange. I'm higher than him on consensus. I think he could have a huge year in Jacksonville.
I have him at 23, but I do understand pushing it up. So there's a lot of targets gone in Jacksonville.
There are a lot of vacant targets, and he is an athletic tight end, dude.
He is, yeah.
Like, usually, like, we try to, like, stat out vacant targets to, like, these new receivers and running backs, and most of the time they end up just going to the tight end. And Brendan Strange has showed when handed the ball and targets, he had huge spike weeks last season and the year before. It's just, I don't think it's going to be relevantly consistent, but I think he's going to have a pretty sneakily stream year in Jacksonville.
He'll be a good stream option if you're plugging in for shootouts. I think he'll be involved. I have him at 23.
I have him at 18.
But I do like his upside there. But I have Travis Hunter way more involved than I have Travis Hunter
for sure.
Yeah, and I have Brian Thomas Jr., who we'll talk about Thursday, at up 150 some targets.
This guy's gonna have BTJ wide receiver 1. I'm calling it right now, everybody.
Last name Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
Big biscuit.
19. Right after Brendan Strange.
I have him at 20. I thought that was crazy, but here
honestly, we might be really low on him, so it might be crazy.
Yeah.
But I think George Pickens is
Dak.
going. We're very high on Dak, but I think it's going to be because of George Pickens. Like, obviously, CeeDee Lamb, he's going to eat regardless. I think George Pickens is going to take this offense to the next level and what they were missing. I think Jake Ferguson's going to be fine. He's going to have a couple good stream weeks like Brendan Strange and Dallas Goedert.
And that's the problem.
And exactly. Once they hit the red zone, it's all CeeDee Lamb. And I think George Pickens is going to have big bomb plays that keep them out of the red zone. Either he's just going to score. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of work for Ferguson consistently throughout the year.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I lied. Darren Waller. Your guy.
Oh, Darren Waller, I have at the 25, 26, 25.
Okay. I got him at 27. I just don't think he's...
But yeah, looking at this list, I would take Mason Taylor and Ferguson over him. So he'd be at 28. I don't think he's going to be heavily involved.
No. Okay.
Like, I get... Yeah, it's his offensive coordinator. He's in a high-powered offense, and he can stretch the field. We've seen it in Oakland. But the last time we seen him play football, he looked like shit.
He was cheeks, yeah.
He was so bad, and I get he played for the Giants, and he didn't want to be there.
He hasn't played football.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, and he's still gonna be asked to run block at some point, and he's gonna freak out. God forbid you have to go out there and get dirty, dude.
People are gonna draft him because of the name, but I think
because of the name and the offense, 100%.
I think if you're gonna chase a third option, I'm chasing Malik Washington. If I'm gonna chase another receiver or a pass catcher,
I think 100% agree.
Yeah, but I think it's just Waddle, Hill, and
it's Tyreek and Waddle and H. Yeah, 100%.
Yep. All right. Top 12 recap. I got Mike Gesicki at 12, Cincinnati tight end, Jonnu Smith, Pittsburgh at 11, Tucker Kraft, Green Bay at 10, Tyler Warren, Indianapolis at 9, TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota at 8, Travis Kelsey, Kansas City Chief at 7, Evan Ingram, Denver Broncos, tight end at 6, Sam Laporta from Detroit at 5, David Njoku, Cleveland at 4, George Kittle, San Fran 3, Trey McBride, Arizona 2, Brock Bowers, Vegas Raiders at 1.
Yeah, it seems consistently the top 3, so makes sense. 12, Tucker Kraft, Green Bay. 11, Mark Andrews, Baltimore. 11, Mike Gesicki, Cincinnati. 9, Tyler Warren, Indianapolis. 8, David Njoku, Cleveland. 7, Sam Laporta, Detroit. 7, Travis Kelsey, Kansas City. 5, TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota. 4, Evan Ingram, Denver. 3, George Kittle, San Fran. 2, Trey McBride, Arizona. 1, Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Tight ends in the book, dog. I'm excited to move the receivers.
Yeah, receivers will be a long one. We'll probably do... We'll do our top 24, but we'll talk about...
Probably a bunch, 36.
Because you're going to start... Most leagues, you're going to start 3 receivers.
Yeah, you're going to start your 2 wides, and then you have your flex. Like, there are so many receivers that are startable. Like, we talked about Josh Downs. We talked about Roman, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Reed. Those guys aren't in the top 24. Waddle, Myers, Godwin. So there's a ton of talent to be talked about in the receivers. It's a way deeper position. And then running back, obviously, because you start 2 wide receivers. A lot of teams run 3, so there's just an abundance of wide receiver talent in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. That's the Drafted Up podcast. Like, rate,
yeah, let me out of here, dude. I gotta go. I gotta go watch
YouTube,
Fast 5.
Spotify, all that good stuff. Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to it, we'll be there. Support our friends, Finley Force. Click the link in the bio. W Energy, Drafted Up, 10% off. And we'll catch you guys here later this week for the wide receiver episode. And then
we'll be back.
Mock draft.
Woo! Best time of the year, baby.
Yeah.
Mock City.
Start next week, mock draft, and then probably divisions. So fun stuff.
Yeah, camp's right around the corner, dude. We're here. Yeah. Football's here.
Camp started. Chargers camp.
Yeah, rookies reported. Not Trey Harris, though.
No. Yeah. There's that's something we haven't even talked about. Is the 30 of the 32 second round picks have not signed.
Well,
it's
Houston's
Higgins,
fault. Yeah.
Jaden Higgins and whichever other.
I believe
Carson
Schlesinger, has signed.
Both of them
linebacker.
Got guaranteed money. Yeah. So
every other second round pick is trying to get guaranteed money, and no team's going to give it to them. So we'll see what happens. But only 2 second round picks have currently signed. In the NFL.
There's some interesting names. Trevion Henderson.
There's a lot of talent
Harris.
out there, dude. Trey Harris.
Yep.
Jack Besh.
Yep. Okay. We'll see you guys. Adios. Drafted Up Podcast.
Bye.
See you later this week.